So, I want to share a story with you. I was having a night out on the town with a very special friend of mine. And we got onto the subway. And we sat down, and the train starts moving, and we're engaged in conversation, and there's a couple of younger adults sitting across from us, and their night had just begun, probably with a few cocktails, I'm sure. They were having a good time. Our night was kind of in the middle, and here we are meeting on this train, and this young woman sitting directly across from me in her joyful excitement about her evening screams over to me, "High fives!" And I look over and I smile and I reach in and I give her high fives back. And she says, "And again, high fives!" And so I'm like, "High fives all the way around," and we smack hands again, and we kind of laugh and smile at each other and just kind of relishing in the innocent joy of the moment. And she wanted more. Next thing I know, her feet are up in the air, and she's all, "Feet fives." You can't see me lifting my feet, but she puts her feet in the air, and so I do the same and I kick her feet. And at this point, obviously, she's wanting to engage in some conversation, and so I ask, "Where's the party at? Where are you guys going?" Anyway, you get the idea. It was a very fun, joyful moment on the train. Quickly as it had started, it had ended, and my special friend and I, we needed to get off at the next stop. And so we do. We step off the train. And this friend of mine asks, "These types of things happen to you quite often, don't they?" And I smile and I say, "Yes, on a daily basis, there's always joy to be shared," right, is what I'm thinking. And he asks, "Do I know why these things happen to me?" And I look at him and I say, "Do you want the long answer or the short answer?" And he says, "I think I'll take the short answer this time, because I love asking that question." And I smile and I say, "Because my life is magical. It's filled with rainbows and unicorns." And we both got a chuckle out of it. But he knew that there was that wasn't really the answer, right? Whose life is actually filled with unicorns and rainbows? Maybe I know some people who have that as their day-to-day experience, but honestly, it's not mine. Rainbows and unicorns, come on. However, I thought it would be fun to share this story with you and share the long answer. What is the long answer? The long answer to the question, what has my life be so magical? It's such a great question, right? I mean, there's such this innocent sense of wonderment and innocent perspective on the world when you ask a question like that. What has your life be so magical? And is there really an answer for that? I think that when you're open to receiving all that life has to offer, and when you put intention into being receptive, then magic naturally shows up. I think that magic is the nature of life in the context of this conversation. I think that just holding that space of wonderment, what's going to happen to me next, is enough to have magic show up in your life. And to again, to really put effort into being receptive to what life has to offer, the good and the bad, right? I mean, if you can't be receptive to life, then how is it that magic would ever show up? It wouldn't. There would be no room. So, perhaps as you're done listening to this video, you can ask yourself, in what ways can I be more receptive to life? In what ways can I really embrace what is fully being brought into my awareness? What is fully being brought into my existence and state of being, right? And it's not an easy game to play, right? But it's a fun one. I guarantee you will have a great time when you really open up. When you really open up and be receptive. Anyway, play with that. And maybe leave me some comments and let me know what magic shows up in your life. Thank you for listening.